dispatching establishment people into cyberspace, into internet news, as that becomes the total platform, to try to replace the true alternative media as they begin to censor and shut all of us down. And just a side issue, and I apologize because it's not even worthy of discussion, but the Young Turks, which means kind of a secret society, a luminous group that actually took over Turkey, kind of an anti-Islamicist group. That's, I guess, why they use that name. I mean, it's good, kind of a Ford Foundation, Media Matters, Al Gore-funded deal. I mean, it's like kind of a joke in everybody's face. And that's where that name comes from. I just saw some video where they were saying they're the #1 news show on the internet in the world. And I said, if you look at Alexa, and if you look at all of our internet traffic and streams and podcasts and all of our YouTube channels, we dwarf them, and a bunch of other people dwarf them. And, I mean, Glenn Beck's bigger than they are on the internet. WorldNet Daily, I mean, the list goes on and on. I said it's not true because I'm sick of Al Gore dispatching some people that show Hollywood clips all day and then call that news and then say they're bigger than people when with hardcore info, we're beating the establishment media and the establishment spin-off counterfeit alternative media with real hardcore news. That says the people are hungry for truth. That says the awakening is winning. That's an attack on all of us to say this show is at #1. #1 in full spectrum alternative media. Drudge is indisputed #1 in old line media, alternative media, and agenda setting. There's just nothing compared to it. And the system attacks him every day, saying it's wrong. He shouldn't be able to set the agenda. Because he does. More than New York Times, Twitter, Facebook, all of them combined, the actuaries have been done. And I'm just stating facts here, okay? We're #1. That means you're #1. That means we're winning. We're winning. And more and more I realize the fact that we're winning needs to be trumpeted. So we're going to start publishing more of these numbers, going over it, pointing it out, so you know the victories you're having. I want you to email, I want you to Facebook, I want you to Twitter out Infowars.com to everybody. The more they try to censor us, the more we got to fight back. I've seen the longevity products work for many others. As I've explained, going back thousands of years, tribal chiefs would dress up in big fancy crowns and flowing robes to impress everyone. And that's what the mainstream media does. And listeners tell me, wear a suit, wear a tie every show, have an even fancier studio. And I kind of want to ask the audience. I mean, I can hire a company to come in here and do that, to spend a few $100,000 and to build a big fancy studio, and I can go get $1,000 suits. And I could even have people load my own writing in a teleprompter so I look right at it and do that. But you know what? I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But because that's all part of this fake culture. Sure, it's good to wear a sports jacket sometimes, but that's not what the information is. If I wore a pair of sunglasses today on this TV show, the TV show version of the broadcast, if I did that, if I wore sunglasses, it would suddenly all be in the comments on the video from it when we post it about how I was wearing sunglasses. It's all about the surface of things. And that's how Bill Gates can sit up there and wear a suit and a tie and act real gentlemanly and talk in a friendly, non-threatening voice. And he is basically like Adolf Hitler. I mean, he's a eugenicist on record that says reduce population. You can pull his quotes up. He, quote, used vaccines. In fact, I've got the quotes again today, right out of news articles, right out of video quotes of him. I saw a UK Independent article requoting quotes. What was the headline? Bill Gates says use vaccines and GMO to reduce population. I mean, how much more obvious does it get? But because he's this little friendly guy, and I've talked a lot about this. I've talked a lot about this over the years, that serial killers, it comes out in criminology, know to wear a suit and tie. and to be clean cut. And they just can get women in cars with them a lot easier. Because women don't think a guy in a suit and tie is going to pull a gun on them and say, I'm taking you out to a farm, just be quiet and everything will be okay. Of course, it's not going to be okay. And they get them to the farm and tie them down and rape them for a couple weeks and torture them and, quote, use them up. And the globalists are a bunch of serial killers in suits openly setting up world government. And here is the alternative media that in every metric is crushing the old dinosaur media. But still, even those of us in the alternative media that is the new media and supplanting the globalist media, the deceptive traitor media, we still, more people I talk to, still marvel at, oh my gosh, you were on Fox Business, Alex. I saw a YouTube and they played a clip of your show on one of those. Congratulations. Fox Business on average has about 75,000 viewers at one time. Congratulations. We've got over 1 million listening right now conservatively. It'll be over 3 million in 3 hours. Million conservatively from the AM and FM affiliates. And look, I'm not getting into my show here about this all day. I'm just illustrating it's all a hoax. It's all a fraud. It's all a scam. And it's so incredibly irritating to see them get away with this hoax. Because even though they don't have any viewers anymore, even though it's a joke, even though they're falling apart and trying to censor the web now and alternative media, because they know, the liars know they're a imploded, rotten husk, a shell, a facade, a projection. They know that. They're very well aware of it. I mean, sometimes they'll say, oh my gosh, they played a clip of your show on CNN. Congratulations, congratulations. My gosh, the average CNN show has about 250,000 viewers. Their top shows, 1 million. Oh man, congratulations. You know when I say congratulations? When Rush Limbaugh talks about Infowars.com or Prisonplanet.com. That's 20+ million real people. Or George Norrie with 16 million. Oh, go on there for 3 hours, talk about the New World Order, talk to 16 million people. That's congratulations. And again, what do they want to do? They want to put fairness doctrine back on talk radio because talk radio is the only old line media that has any big audiences. Okay, I'll cover the news when we come back. Stay with us. You know, I analyzed why I get so angry. And I intended to actually open the broadcast up today with it just so people would understand my mindset. But it's really simple. I am frustrated by being aware of the amazing corruption and out-of-control danger that the globalists are bringing us all under, including themselves, and that it's so obvious and documented, and that the threat is bearing down on us day by day with the threat of global war, bioweapons releases, you name it. I'm so frustrated that it's just hanging out there, getting worse by the minute, worse by the day. And it would be so easy to reverse if people would just realize the magnitude of it and look around them, that I just get angry. I get angry because it's like having to watch a building burn up with a bunch of little kids inside of it. I mean, I think about if the globalists get their Agenda 21 through, it's designed to reduce world population, according to State Department Memorandum 200 and literally hundreds of globalist documents that are public. I mean, it's public Planned Parenthood funded Hitler. It's public that they're Nazis. It's well, they're the father of Nazis. It's public that it's a bunch of racism. It's public that world government's being established. It's public they're designing the GMO to reduce our fertility. You know, they've got biological weapons treaties, but all these governments violate them and create incredible weapons. Weaponized flus, Ebola, you name it. We've talked a lot about that. It's back in the news today. At least there's some discussion about this. Like, why are all the universities producing this? This is a good idea. And then letting people know they have them. By the way, I mean, they'll have dirty money under armed guards at banks behind a big vault, and they've got stuff that will kill over 90% of those it comes in contact with just behind swipe card keypad doors in level 2 containment when it should be in level 4 underground with men with machine guns on the top level guarding it and minefields and electrified fences. That's what level 4 is supposed to have. Underground with containment systems with fire bombs to be released if the bioweapon gets out, barbed wire fences, the inner one electrified with a minefield and men with shoot-to-kill orders. They just don't have them in those facilities anymore. They guard the big bioweapon stockpiles with that on military bases. Now they've just got it, University of Texas at Galveston on the side of the beach. I've got all this news, and it's all just perfume on a pig. It's all just side issues compared to the fact that the people running the planet are crazy. They're madmen. There's no way they can be protected from all the stuff they're doing. I know they've built underground bunkers for the elite. They admit they have them. I know they built seed vaults and DNA vaults for plants and animals. I know all that's admitted. And every preparation they're making, it looks like, is for a scenario where they release bioweapons, infect the entire biosphere with stuff that takes over the genetics of everything that comes in contact. It's like a slow motion thing. I was watching The New Thing this morning while jogging on the treadmill. And of course, it's absorbing people in a matter of minutes. But the stuff the New World Order designs, it's the perfect weapon. And they've written about this, the eugenicists did, in the 20s. They were saying, we've got to discover the tiny building blocks so we can create the Superman. And by the 40s, the top eugenicists, Watson and others, had look at all the discoverers. They're all eugenicists. You got to hand it to them. They actually went out, discovered all this so they could play God. And some people say, well, see, they should be in charge. They came up with this master plan. They carried it out. The public is going along with it. They deserve to die. What about me? I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. I don't want to die. I don't want to be soft-killed. It's so uncool. It's so creepy. It's so out of control. Don't you have any empathy for the general public? And they're like, well, you're weak-minded. You don't have that last attribute that we have of being cold-blooded and actually, in many cases, being hot-blooded and enjoying what we're doing to people. I've talked to so many chemists and biologists who've contacted me or I've run into at events or that I'm having dinner with a neighbor and they're there and they go, we know who you are. That's why we invited you over. Yes, what are you going to do to stop it? Everything you're saying is true, and they are preparing to release the plague to reduce population. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do, though? You're not going to stop them. And then I run into another group of doctors and scientists out in the countryside living out there, and they're like, yes, we all know. That's why we moved here. We're preparing for the bioweapon release and hope our children won't die as they watch their kids playing. And I'm just like, so you people all know. I guess you do. You're biologists and scientists. They tried to recruit you too, I guess, and you're the ones that didn't go along with it. I mean, they tried to recruit my dad because he was top of his class. I mean, listeners, they've engineered the food to sterilize you and give you cancer and give you birth defects and hurt your children. I mean, it's going on all around us. It's horrible. And I just go into a frustrated rage all the time. And I'm doing it in my family life. I'm doing it around the office because I can feel the danger. The hair on the back of my neck standing up half the time now. Everybody feels it. I mean, they're getting ready to start World War III with Iran, Russia, and China. That's mainline publications are saying that that's probably what it'll lead to.